them all back, right?
Put them all back.
All back.
That's for the on-timers, and we love you guys. Thank
Oh,
you.
they get another shot?
Yeah, they get another
wow.
shot because they're on time. We love that. Okay.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for getting a part of your Saturday. Be with us on our July in-service. And we got a fun and action-packed couple of hours for you and a learning experience. We can go over some things that you probably know as caregivers. We're going to sharpen the saw a little bit. We're going to introduce you to some new things as well. So, Mary Lou, let's get going. We got a lot of stuff and not much time.
Right, we have a lot of caregivers who have been with us for a long, long time. And we have a lot of new caregivers too. So what we're going to do is very quickly introduce staff so you know who does what. You know Milton and me, I think everybody knows that. Maggie, you're here. Perfect. Miss Maggie is everything money. Client has a money problem, call Maggie. You have a money problem, call Maggie. She's awesome. She's on it. Every day. Cindy. Our nurse, Cindy Devlin. You have an emergency, you have a question, the family has a question, the daughter has a question.
Anybody has questions?
Yeah, not kind of philosophical, but like health.
Yeah.
Health.
Probably better.
Yeah, that's probably better. Cindy's great. Gloria. Talk over.
Okay, so y'all, I'm doing recruiting for caregiving. A lot of y'all have already referred excellent caregivers to me. If you will continue to do so, if we hire them, once they reach that 100th hour with us, you get a $50 gift card. Yay! So, but make sure it's someone that you trust and that you're gonna refer in your name.
Yeah.
They have to be as good as you are.
That's right. Y'all are setting the bar.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
right.
high up there.
They have
But
to
we
be as
need
good
more.
as you are.
We need more.
And I love it.
Okay, perfect, I'm sorry. So, oops, Michelle is next, and I'll just send her off to make it cooler in here. Okay. And
Because we have a,
John.
can I talk about skills lab real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Announcement.
While I have time, next Friday, the 26th, we have a skills lab here. We have a skills lab every other month because you guys are great caregivers, but we can train you with certain things. This one will be 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. We meet here in the office. You know where the office is. We're going to talk about dehydration, stroke, and how it affects the elderly. Then we're taking a field trip. You guys ever take a field trip to some place? You start one place, you go to the other place? Yeah. We're going to the Village of the Heights, and the director of the dining services is going to show us different ways to prepare food for our clients. Our clients don't eat a lot because they have small appetite, but there's ways to make it more nutritious. So it's going to be fun. You get to eat food and you get paid for doing it. Next Friday. Sign up. Sign up sheet out here.
Yeah, then the sign-up sheet is, on the bar. Hey, Michelle, I'm sorry. Come on in and bring your guests.
Come on, guests.
Which one's Michelle and which one?
That's what
Go Patty.
So yes, this is my daughter Bree. She's 14 and
You're helping today.
Yay, Bree!
And, you know, obviously, Michelle is Scheduler Deluxe and can help you any scheduling questions, right? Okay.
But I do want to say one quick thing. Thank you all for your patience in helping out while Courtney was on maternity leave for 2 months. I greatly appreciate all of your patience with me.
Okay. Thank you. And now.
Oh, everybody brought a little effort today.
Is that an adorable?
This is Isaiah Lewis, my little miracle. Yeah. So it is so glad, it's good to be back and see all your faces, and I'm ready to get back to work.
Yeah, well, I got poison ivy. Well, first page is resources, and the back of that is too. You can read through that and go, darn, there's a lot of stuff out there to help. Now, you guys in the homes, in the residences, you are the eyes and ears of the family. And I'm going to start off by saying, I'll give you an example of something that happened to a family here. It was on, she lives on Highway 6, you go down just a little ways and then you take a left. Beautiful neighborhood. And the daughter was, had arranged care for the mom, and we were in the home. And the daughter called me and told me that the contractor who was in the house, who was upgrading her bathroom, making the door wider and giving her grab bars and all that kind of stuff, he had called the daughter and said, this may not be my place, but I just feel like something's wrong here. And she goes, what do you mean? He goes, are you aware that somebody's picking up your mom every Tuesday and Thursday? She goes, no, who? He goes, I'm not sure who it is, but every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, what it was a Medicare scam. They called her and said, your treatment is necessary, and the good news is it's free to you, and the great news is we'll come and pick you up. And so they stopped and picked her up in a van and took her to a doctor who is a Medicare scammer. And he, whatever they were doing, have no idea, and then took her back and billed, your tax dollars at work, billing you. So she shut that down. I mean, she really shut it down, but she goes, Mary Lou, that's not the first time this has happened to Mom. I go, what do you mean? And she goes, well, when I announced to Mom that I was fixing her bathroom, we need to do that, Mom. We need to fix the bathroom. Mom wanted to be independent. And so to herself, she said, hey, I know that guy that comes around here and he does odd jobs and he's a good contractor. So she had him come in the next time she saw him in the neighborhood, walk through her bathroom, told him what she wanted done. And he said, yeah, I can do that for $20,000. And it's half down. So I'll need $10,000 before I can start. She goes, well, should I write you? He goes, oh no, we can just go to the bank, I'll drive you. What? So they got to the bank, here's this contractor and the mom. They walk up to the front desk and praise God, it's some place that they had banked for a long, long time. The lady goes, oh, okay, I'll help you in just a second, excuse me. Call the daughter. The daughter said, no! So the guy out, she even had to come pick up her mom from the bank. They never identified the guy. So anyway, that happened. So I fast forward a couple of months, I'm over at her house. And I look down at her table, we're talking about recipes and all kinds of stuff, she's a cook. Look down, and there's a card that says, you owe money, you must pay now, please, da-da-da-da-da. And just by the look of it, I knew it wasn't. It was a postcard. It was a business on the East Beltway. I went, this is wrong. So she stepped into the kitchen to get me a drink or something. I took a picture of it, flipped it over, took a picture, sent it off to the daughter. Daughter called me and said, I'm gonna have to put Mom in assisted living. It's not working. And it was another scam. Why this lady, nice neighborhood, she had some money, but why this lady was hit basically 3 times, I have no idea. But it's out there. And so, read through these and figure out if these might be helpful for any situation that you encounter. And then I wanna go through the scanner's top 10 list, which I thought was cute. Candy put this together. Number 10. Yeah. Number 10 is the sweepstakes scam. So Publishers Clearinghouse win $5,000 a week for life. It's a real legitimate business, I'll call it, because they sell magazines. It is legitimate, it's from New York. However, in Spring Branch, just recently, a series of emails went out, and the seniors opened the emails, and on the top of it, it says Publishers Clearinghouse, the logo, the address, everything. It looked exactly like it, and it's a congratulations. You have won $8 million from Publishers Clearinghouse. And all you have to do to claim it, we have to go through procedure you can understand for the federal government and for blah, blah, blah. We need to verify who you are, and we need to, run background checks and this and that, and it's just $2,000. So send in the $2,000. Yeah. So 6 people called Candy at the Better Business Bureau. These seniors, 6 of them, called and said, is this legit? She goes, no, it's not legit. You never, ever pay money to win money. Never, ever. Out of the 6 people, guess how many paid $2,000? 6. Then they called back and they wanted help. She couldn't give them any help. Just you learned an expensive lesson. Just don't do it anymore. Don't do it. And it is all over. But she said, just remember, that's a watchword. Never pay money to win money. Never, ever. The romance scam. Yeah. My friend, unfortunately, from church was hit on this. She's a widow, sorry. She's a widow, nicest lady. Her whole family's involved at church. I've known her for, 12, 15 years. And she went on Christian Mingle whatever. Yeah. met this guy, well, went into one of the groups, you know, there's like a sports group and there's like a movie group and a whatever, apparently, I've never been there, but she went into one of these groups and met this guy, and he lived in Australia, and he had this story, and he had like 5 businesses, you know, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm coming to Houston, and I wanna meet you, and I'm in love with you eventually after months. And the son, full grown, and the daughter, full grown, oh, Mom, we love you, but this is bizarre. No, it's not. It's really not. Yeah, it's bizarre, and this is, yeah. So the son got super frustrated with Mom, who was in denial, and he called the FBI because it was international. And sure enough, this guy scams women all over the world. And he hadn't asked her for money yet. But the next time he called the home, the son was there. And the son answered the phone and just put a complete end to it. And the woman was humiliated, just humiliated it. I didn't even want to talk about it, didn't want to, you know, whatever. But it's out there, it really is. The story that Candy told was about a lady who was lonely, who was a widow, who did the same thing, went on the internet and met somebody. And this guy had a sob story, and she fell for it. And her children tried to intervene. She wouldn't have it. As a matter of fact, distanced herself from her kids, almost disowned them because of this, and she lost $350,000 to the shop. Yeah. So, but Candy said that there are all kinds of apps out there, and you might want to suggest this. You suggest that they call the Better Business Bureau if you see anything like this, or you can tell them. And I was amazed by this. There are apps out there where the son or the daughter, you know, full grown, whatever, power of attorney, can share banking information with Mom, let's say. So they can punch the app on their phone and look down and see exactly what she's spending. They can't take money out of her account necessarily or put money in necessarily, but they can see what money is going out of the account. And she highly recommends that if there's a, you know, a situation like that. Okay, number 8 is the secret shopper jobs, and it comes in a bunch of categories. There are secret shopper companies who work and who are legitimate, but it's one of those earn $2,000 at home, you know, per week, you know, kind of thing, which there are signs out on so many street corners in Houston. Yeah, it's really bad. And so, you know, they can be email more and more and more. It used to be just newspaper ads, but she said it's just amazing what comes. And people are lonely out there, especially seniors, so they fall for this stuff. We've already talked about Medicare or healthcare scam. Be alert to that. Be really alert to that. Emergency scam. She told a story about this lady, and it happens all the time. She said this is like, we're getting to number 6, so it's getting more and more popular as we go. Somebody will call, for instance, and say, this is Officer Smith, and I'm at, you know, Laredo, Texas, or in, maybe it's Mexico or something. You know, we have your grandson here, and he's been arrested on some charge. They'll make it up. And I have his attorney here, and he needs to talk to you. They pass it off. And the attorney says, ma'am, we need to get him out of jail, unless you want him to spend, you know, a night in jail. It'll be $2,500 and da-da-da-da-da, and then we can, you know, call up a court date and da-da-da-da-da. And, do you want to speak to your grandson? She goes, yeah. Hi, Grandma, this is Timmy. Well, where'd they get it? Off Facebook, of course. They get all that stuff off social media. And the lady swore it sounded like her grandson. All she had to do was hang up the phone. Well, think about it. Call the grandson and find out that it wasn't him, but she never did that. It was so emotional for her, she never did that. So she wired $2,500 and lost it. Yeah. And then come to the Better Business Bureau and say, hey, I've been scammed. They're not well, they are an investigative group. They are. But they're not like law enforcement. You know, they can't just, you have to report it to the police, and you know that those things are usually going nowhere. Okay, number 5 is risk-free trial offers. I was scammed by this one. It's embarrassing, it is. I was on my phone. I was looking for, oh, madame. I was looking for news, actually. Just looking at news. And this ad pops up. And it said, did you know that Joanna Gaines off of HGTV is quitting her TV show? Yeah, she is, because she has discovered this new makeup. What is that show called? Not Flip and Flop. Whatever, it's one of those HGTV shows. It's a real popular one. And I knew who she was, and she has found this makeup, and it's just absolutely fabulous. You know, it's fabulous. Look and see what, it was lip cream, actually, because I have wrinkles on my lips. So it hurt my heart. I have wrinkles on my lips, so I said, I'm gonna pay attention to this. And then it said, see what her friends are saying about this. So I scrolled down, and it was stars from Hollywood, just 10 of them, saying 5-star. This is fabulous, unbelievable. You can, and guess what? I could get a sample for just $15. And I thought it was like 4 ounces or 3 ounces. And I went, man, I can do that. I can do that. Ah, of course. So I ordered it, and then I went to the payment page, and it said $30. And I went, what? And I went back. Well, I couldn't go back. But I looked down and it said $15 for lip cream and $15 for eye cream. And I kept trying to go back, and I got really frustrated, and I couldn't do anything. And I thought, you know what, I'll just do 2 samples. What the heck, okay? Yeah, what the heck? So I sent off for it, and it comes in the mail, and I look at it, and it, you know, it looked like cream or whatever. And then the notice inside the box said, thank you so much. We'll be billing you auto, $150 per, so that's 2 times a month. It's $300 a month. Yeah. So I told a friend this. Well, it was too late in the evening for me to call, but I was going to call the next day. And I told a friend about this, and she goes, oh yeah, I read about that. Let me send you the article. She sent it to me. Joanna Gaines is suing this company because it's all fake, and it has nothing to do with her. And you know, oh my word. So I called the company the next day and said, no. And they were pretty rude. We're not authorized to do that. Well, let me talk to your boss. That's not our procedure. Well, it needs to be your procedure. You know, have you ever heard of the postal inspector? Have you ever heard of the attorney general? Have you ever heard of the federal? You know, I went through everything I could think of. And at Better Business Bureau, I'm gonna report you until the cows come home. And finally I said, you really do this for a living? This is your job to cheat people? I said, how do you feel about that? And she said, I'm older and I'm retired and I don't think I could get another job. And I go, well, my heart goes out to you, but I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't do that. So after a bunch of threatening, I paid the 15 and the 15 that had already been paid. I paid $10 to ship it to me. I paid $10 to ship it back, and then there was like another $30 charge or something. It was $100. But they canceled me from the, ma'am, it's your responsibility to read item 7 in the rules and regs or whatever. You know how you have 15 clicks to get to a page? Yeah, I never did that. That was my fault. Oops. Yeah, it's horrible, and it's all out there. Okay. And then utility company scams. Another client we had right here in Spring Branch. This guy came from the utility company. There are like 15 of these scams. But anyway, he comes to the door, ma'am, we're having a problem with your plumbing in the backyard. Do you mind if we come and look at it? Or I come and look at it? And she goes, no. So she shows him into the house. They walk out back, and he's saying, okay, well, that looks okay. But this is, I'm not sure about. We may have to come. And this, I'm not, oh, yeah, well, okay, this is all right. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I'll just go out through the gate. She said, okay. So he walks out through the gate. She goes back through her house, and it's been cleaned out because he brought all his friends in the front door.
Oh.
And they said it was gypsies. They caught some of them in Spring Branch, but there's tons of them out there, they said. Isn't that just the limit? I mean, you always have to be alert. You always do. She talked about phone scams and robocall scams, and she also talked about apps. There are apps out there that are absolutely free that keep those kind of trash calls from coming through. You know, they will just block them. And you don't have to pay for it at all. It's call blocker. Milton has one. It's horrible. It's a call blocker that he got for free. And when the people call, you know how sometimes it answers and then there's a delay? And if you answer, somebody live comes on the line? Okay. Yeah, so this is what his blocker is all about. It's unfortunate, it really is. I listened to it one time and I couldn't stand it. So the scammer gets on the line, and Milton's app has already answered, right? And so they go, yes, who is this? Yes, and this is all recorded on Milton's app. And they say, this is so-and-so with a he goes, hold on just a second. And then you hear screaming in the background. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. I don't think he's breathing. What's going, and they set up this huge scenario of panic.
I need that.
What, I need that.
Talk to Milton. He has it, and then after, you don't have to listen to it. Your app does it automatically. But at the end, you can go back and retrieve these things and listen to them and laugh, he laughs. Okay, I'm just saying, if you have some extra time, you might wanna do that. Okay, so there, that's my husband for you. Okay, so the thing of the matter is, there's a bunch of other scams. You can read through that. There are, it's just sad. It's just really sad. And they are there to help you. Durable medical equipment fraud, you know, you can get this free. Do you need a whatever? We'll send it to you for free. Well, it's not free. There's like a Medicare scam. You know, they're charging a whole bunch of money to Medicare. And so Candy is, and here it is, Candace Twyman. She's the executive director. She's always there for you, and she's just like feisty. You know, she wants to get out there and fight for seniors. So again, you guys, your eyes and ears. So be sure. Uh-oh, I don't have one of those. Can I borrow that card, laminated card back from you? For just a second, I gave everyone away. I'll make some extra copies. She said that telemarketers are really bad also, so she wanted to give you guys this card. She says if the call is from a charity, tell them to send you information in writing. Okay, be sure to add that you don't give money to strangers over the telephone. Have you ever gotten the, hi, I'm with the Texas State Department of whatever, Sheriff's Department, Association, and yeah, there was a huge rash of that, and sometimes they were a company collecting for the Sheriff's Department, sometimes they weren't. But if they were, they got a huge percentage. Sheriff's Department got like 10%, and they got 90% of anything they got from, yeah, so it was ridiculous, and it was a scam. Okay, if they're selling something, ask for information in writing. If this is one-time opportunity, tell them you don't make decisions on the phone. Repeat that they should send it in the mail. Ask the caller for their name, the name of their company, and their callback number. Tell them you'll go back to them after you verify the office, and then hang up and don't talk to them, okay? These are the red flags on the back. Are they asking for credit card information? Are they asking for banking information? Are they asking for personal information, like your Medicare or Social Security number? There was, recently, I think last September, the feds sent out all new Medicare cards because there was a change in the law and they changed the appearance or the number or the whatever. And so the scam followed where people would call and say, ma'am, we're just not sure you got the right card. What was that Medicare number? People give the Medicare number, boom, there you go. Or what's your Social Security number? You know, I have your Medicare number as this, is that correct? Okay, then your Social Security, no. Okay, offer is good only,
I wanted to ask you, okay, cause I know one of my patients that I'm with usually 4 days a week. He got scammed really bad like that, and they called and acted like his bank though. And he gave, you know, they told him all the correct information and everything on the phone. So he still went through with it, and he ended up getting out of $7,000 from that. But it was like you couldn't do nothing to get it back because they made him go purchase like gift cards to put the money on, a secure gift card or whatever. And I was like, what? How do you do this to get your money back in the bank? But I mean, how do you prevent that though?
Yeah.
Like,
I know, there's no way, you just have to be alert,
and I know
aware.
on iPhones it lets you know when a scammer is coming. It's like a scam, like or whatever that pops up on your phone.
Oh, that's fabulous. You know, what Candy said was that they have talked to, not Wells Fargo, who's Western Union, you know, the companies that send money, that can send money. They've talked to them. There's a couple of them, and they've asked them to be alert because seniors are very susceptible to this. But all they can do is say, excuse me, are you sure it's your grandson? And if they say, yeah, I'm absolutely sure, this is going to my grandson, there's nothing they can do. They'll send the money. But they try to be alert for that. Okay, if any of these things are happening that we've talked about, they know something about you, but they need to verify the information, hang up. And there is a group called Texas Senior Medicare Patrol. They're volunteers who are amazing out there fighting the battle against scammers. So there's their telephone number right there. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so let me tell you one other story. One other story is that I belong to a networking group, and that's one of the ways that we get new business here. And, I've been with the group since 16 or something. They elected me president this year, I thought. And I like it. I like it. It's fun. A lot of neat people on the board. I get to meet them and, you know, hang out with them. I refer to them. They refer to me. It's cool. So, I was coming to work one day. This has been about, I'm gonna say 3 months ago. And I get a text from one of the board members. She said, "Can't talk right now. I'll call you later." Oh, that's weird. It's a little strange. So, got into work, sat down at my desk, another text. "Mary Lou, I'm busy. Is it urgent?" I went, "What's going on here?" So I sent back, "What's going on here?" To the first one replied to me, and she said, "You sent me a text saying call me immediately." No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But I blew it off because I thought it was something automatic that I hit or whatever. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Somebody hacked into my phone, which I keep with me all the time. So how did they do that? I have no idea. So I sent out a message to every board member, unless you see that my eyeballs or hear me on the phone, don't do anything because we've been hacked. Don't. Why somebody would think it would be funny to have every one of my board members, they all got a message. Call me. I have no idea. I mean, what is that all about? But anyway, the treasurer calls, and this was, let's say, later that afternoon. And she said, "Mary Lou, we got a problem." I go, "No kidding." And she goes, "Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than that." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, I got a text that said, hey, we just got the opportunity to participate in a charity. So I need $1,500 in iTunes gift cards. I need you to go buy them real quick, peel off the back, and then take a picture of it and send it to me, please. Wow. This is urgent. Thanks, Mary Lou."
What?
And I'm like, "What? No, you're kidding." I thought she was, no, she wasn't kidding. I said, "So what did you do? Surely you knew better." And she said, "Well, I was suspicious and I sent back, doesn't this require board approval?" Boom. And then they sent back to her, usually, but this is a very fast opportunity. I don't want to miss it. Please, can you do it before 1 or 2 or whatever it's at a time, right? Came back to her. And then she sent back, she's totally aware now that this is a scam, because she's a smart lady. She sends back to them, "What was the last thing that you and I talked about after the last meeting?" And they send back, boop, future events and the discretionary fund. Who uses a discretionary fund? My group? It's called the discretionary fund. It's on our website. They had to know all that. Do you see what I'm saying? However, that was not what we talked about. So she sent back, "Nice try." Yeah. So we talked about going up to Memorial Herman and Cypress and visiting with somebody else. So yeah, thank God. I mean, she was alert to it. But can you imagine? And how, when I keep my phone by me all the time, how does that happen? I'm not a techie person, so I can't tell you how that happens, but that happens. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And please, like I said, your eyes and ears to the family. So please let daughter or son know. Call here and talk to the care coordinators. You know, that kind of thing. Please. All right. Madame, we need door prizes. Very important today. Was that helpful a little bit?
Yes.
And for you guys who didn't get the card, you know, let me know, because I have one on my desk and we'll copy it for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that'll be fun, let's do that now. Okay, so here's the deal, I don't know why we've had so many people call off shifts this week, because usually there's about 3 or 4 in here. I think there's 8 in here today. On Friday, we missed it because it was so busy. Here's what we do every Friday at noon, guys. If you're a hero, if you have picked up a last minute shift where Courtney and Michelle are calling you and begging you, please, somebody cancel, can you take an 8 to 12? You know, I know you have a 2 to 7 today, can you take an 8 to 12? And you say yes, your name goes on a ticket. It's a hero ticket. It's folded up and it's put in here. And Friday, every Friday at high noon, you wanna step out? Close your eyes, close your eyes. Okay, every Friday at high noon, we throw the box up in the air, step out, and where her foot lands, the closest ticket, I'm gonna call it this one, wins $50. It's our hero award.
Who is our hero?
Who's our hero?
Uoma.
I don't have my glasses on.
I don't have my glasses on.
Uoma. Uoma.
Uoma, she's not here.
She's not here, but
Okay,
she's not here.
so Maggie calls her and says, come in and get your $50 gift card every Friday for picking up last minute shifts. Okay? It's kind of fun.
That's our scientific way of doing it.
Yeah, scientific. Okay, what do we have now? We're giving away some stuff for realsies now. This is a $10, what card? A Chick-fil-A card, $10 Chick-fil-A. Going out.
679.
Okay, now we are giving out a $25 Target card.
Yes.
Oh my God, I need.
Our Target, as we call it.
I'm not gonna win
Look
it.
at those numbers, $25.
680.
680.
I want that.
Oh, sure, you got them too.
Come on, Josh, we know it's not in there. Ta-da! Good job, good job.
Wait. What? Oh, my.
Is there something else?
What?
We didn't have one. See, we didn't have one.
Yeah, what else we got? We have Starbucks cards. Let's give out these. We'll give those out at the last. Let's give out the $30 Subway card.
$40 dinner.
674.
674 Subway.
Yeah.
Woo!
Look at you. We're gonna go together.
I know. Okay, and where's Miss Michelle?
Thank you.
Are you in?
Good for you.
Look at me, Cindy.
I think just go to work. I like
Delicious, huh? Delicious.
Do you have yours?
I did have it. Yeah, there.
There's two,
There's one right there.
Is that for both of them?
Okay. There she is.
Okay. Let me say, we have a dementia care program here that you guys hopefully got texts and messages about. It's an online course. You sign up for it, you get paid for your time. It could accumulate to 4 hours. You go on the computer, do 20 minutes, do as much as you want each time, go back in. When you finish the course, I'm told you finished it, you get a certificate, you get paid for you doing what you did, and you also learn a lot of things. It's fun. We've had people that have done it, and I am proud to announce we have some members in our audience that have done it. And for you, Mr. Ibrahim, see, he gets a certificate for completing it. Thank you very much for doing it. Yay, give him a hand, people. Lily Massey, she did it too. Congratulations. And I'm gonna ruin this name. I know I am. Rashida. Rashida. Very much. Good job, you guys. Now, every one of you can do this. So if you want to, you tell me, and I'll send you the link, and you do it on your own and get paid for doing it. Now, you learn, I know you work with dementia clients all the time, so you think you know a lot about them, but there's little secrets that can help and make it a little easier for you to do. So we have this skit we're gonna be doing. This is the client. This is the client right here. This is our caregiver. Michelle actually has been for a caregiver for how many years?
Oh my gosh, from 2014 to 2015.
So she's
1 year.
no,
4 to 15.
There you go.
Or, see, I know
Got
that's
it.
what it
I get
was.
it.
Your dementia is not too bad.
Okay.
Very good. So she's gonna be the caregiver. There's going to be a careless caregiver, and there's going to be a caring caregiver, okay? Scenario 1.
Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
You're at home, where you have lived for 30 years. Please, you just asked me that. I already told you.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that. I didn't.
Notice client is becoming disagreeable and agitated. So, the way the careful caregiver can do it.
Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
It's a beautiful day today. Let's go for a walk. I have your favorite music on your phone.
Okay. See, the client is calm, agreeable. She's gonna go for a walk, get her exercise, and music is really important. Some clients just have to get calm hearing the music, so bringing that along will be helpful too. Scenario number 2 is eating. There, I know it's getting dirtier and dirtier each time we've done it. And it's the same food we presented for the last couple of days. So it's-
Wednesdays.
Since Wednesday. Okay, so eating can be difficult, especially with a mid-stage dementia client, and so we'll see what happens when careless caregiver does it. Lunch.
I don't want that. I don't want that. What is that?
She will eat this gorgeous, gorgeous meal, and she is very confused. Down, girl. The presentation, notice the placemat is a dull color, the plate is a dull color, the food is a dull color. She has a whole pair that she can't eat with. She has utensils, which she probably can't use at this point because her dexterity has been changing with the dementia. She has salad, and she needs utensils for this meal, and so she won't be getting any of this, and she's not enjoying the whole situation. But if you do it correctly, it would help a lot. Okay. Go careful caregiver. Notice the bright colored placemat.
It's time for lunch.
That looks good. We got finger food here, you
Not at
guys.
all.
It's all finger food. And it's like chicken strips. We have the grapes you can pick up with your hands. It's colorful, it's bright, and delicious.
Delicious.
Too.
One
So
day.
there you
Last
go.
week it was delicious.
If you're hungry, you can.
Do we have a coupon ticket giveaway for this meal?
We got 2 to give away.
So that, what I learned from that was that the red and white plate, you know, the red placemat, the white plate versus the beige placemat and the white plate is so much better and, yeah.
They can differentiate a lot better. So this is scenario number 3.
My husband's picking me up at 3. We're going to Seattle to spend the summer. I'm so excited.
No, ma'am. Your husband has been gone for 3 years. Your daughter may come on Friday and take you to lunch, but you're not going to Seattle. That's just too far away. You're staying right here.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
She is getting agitated once again, and she is very disagreeable. So we'll see what the careful caregiver will do.
I'm so excited. My husband's coming at 3. He's taking me to Seattle for the summer.
How fun. Oh, God. How fun. If you're leaving at 3, you better get your shower and pick out something pretty for you to wear.
Okay.
See, she's calm, agreeable. Michelle came at her from the front. She looked her in the eyes. She was calm about it. She is also going to be able to get her to get dressed, and she's looking forward to it. She's nice. Okay, our last scenario and final act. Sorry, guys. This is it.
Okay. I'm Michelle. We're going to have breakfast, and then you're going to get a shower. Then you're going to take a nap and go for lunch.
No.
No, I'm not. No. Buzz off.
Once again, our client is becoming agitated and resistant. Okay, so this is the way a careful caregiver would approach the client.
Hi, I'm Michelle. Would you like to go for a walk or have a snack?
Snack, please.
Okay, Michelle came from the front. She looked her in the eye. She's not hovering over her. She can even go to her eye length, okay? So she's making eye contact. She gave her a suggestion of 2 things, one or the other. So she's still independent. She's making choices, but she's not overwhelmed, and that's the whole thing. So those are some scenarios. You get all these little hints with that basic dementia course, and if you're interested, just call me or text me or something, and I'll send you the link. Because it was fun, right, Miss Lily?
It was.
It is.
It was
Right,
good
Irene?
fun. All
It was
she
fun.
did, all that is on the video.
It's a video, right? And you're not
All that is
tested.
in the video, and it really helps you if you with someone that's either going through a beginning or middle or end of the dementia. It really helps you how to communicate with them. And they participate, you know, that is really helpful.
The client has heart experience.
just like watching TV, you don't have to take no
Hard of
test,
hearing.
you just watch. And just hit the
Because
next.
exhibit
Your mouth move, or you can use a sign, you know, and write something.
Nothing. You take a survey.
Yeah, that's what we did with
just
the
actual
client, the lady
output,
over
you
there,
know,
remember?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
A, B,
I
C,
just hold up
or
signs,
A,
yeah.
all this.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna take a little game break right now. Hold on, let me get the game.
And it's 45 minutes for each move. I did mine on my phone.
Oh, you do it on your phone? Oh, okay.
I did mine on my phone.
Hi, Jude. How are you? I'm good, how are you? I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. This is gonna be kind of an all hands on deck. Staff's gonna come in here and help. And what we're gonna do is, play a little game, and it's called Encore Caregivers by Number. And what we're gonna,
Take one of those.
who, what? Oh, yeah.
I brought lunch, how nice.
Okay, guys. So what we're gonna do, hold on, let me explain it first, please, before you put them up. What we're gonna do, Encore Caregivers by Number.
Nobody's parked over here in the fire lane, are they in a white SUV?
White SUV.
Fire lane.
No.
No? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go and group into teams. I think we have six game boards, so it'll be 3 or 4 people per team. 3 probably. And what you're gonna do is get numbers. And they have the helpers, facilitators, we'll call them. They have your numbers, okay? They're gonna hand it to the team when I say go. And you're gonna say, what number goes with 2019 late care plans? I wonder how many that is. How many caregivers is Encore Caregivers have? I wonder how many CNAs do we have? How many CNAs signed up for the free CPR training that we just offered? How many voicemail box full messages have we gotten in 2019 so far? Which lights those care coordinators up. And how many late to shifts, okay? The team who most quickly, is the first to put them in order wins chocolate, of course, because we're all about chocolate.
We have 22.
22, okay, so it'd be 3 and a couple of teams of 4. I'm not good at math. So we can put that up on the bottom. Okay, we're gonna do 3, we're gonna do a refrigerator one too.
Okay, so which,
Okay, hold on, don't pull the numbers out yet.
I'm trying to figure out who's on what team.
Oh, are y'all gonna go their way? Okay. Yeah, you do here. Perfect. So, okay, oh, good. So, we're looking for, so you have your team already? Okay, so. Sandy, can you go with Linda? So y'all 4 are on this team? Okay. I'm sorry. So Sandy? Really? Linda, and so you're, well, we've got one Sandy. Okay. How many on this team? You have 5. You have 5? Okay, you just go with them. Okay, go with them. On your mark. Get set. And go. Go. Everybody has their numbers?
How many caregivers that we have?
Everybody has their numbers?
Put them up there, just put them in the refrigerator.
How many? 61? Maybe this.
No hints, guys. No hints.
How many caregivers? Probably, yeah. Yeah, put that one. The one, oh. 61. How many? We go with. She said.
Okay, then.
Let's shift. Where do you put it? Right here.
The top number is not 61. The top number is not 61.
Top number is 61.
No, it's not. For late care. I don't think they would have that.
No, leave that one.
Okay.
I think it's.
No, it's a lady.
How many boys are you asking us?
How many caregivers?
It's late for work. That's it.
Wait, I think you got it, I think you got it.
Got it.
right. So we have a winner.
No, you don't.
No, we don't, we're wrong.
No, keep going, keep going.
Give us a hint, Mary Lou.
Okay, again.
CNAs and
We have 118 caregivers.
Yeah, okay.
The top one is not 47.
That's not right. So let's take it. That's not right. How many
Okay, we got it. We got a winner, guys. Thank you.
We are, it's a winner, we are.
Okay, have a seat, guys. Thank you. Choose one. Choose one. Choose one. Thank you. Good job, ladies.
There we go, good job. Sorry, okay, when y'all finish going over this, we put this here.
Hold on just a second. Okay, guys. Let's talk about this. Okay, the number of late care plans, guys, 44. 44. And that is, just to June. So, yeah. So please, I know y'all remember clock in, clock out on your smartphones. That's pretty easy to remember. But just program in your head, clock in, care plan, clock out. Clock in, care plan, clock out. Now, it becomes really critical because we're a long-term care insurance agency and a private pay agency only. And so how it works is we bill the client pays us, and then their insurance company reimburses them. And I can tell you those insurance companies don't want to pay. And so if they don't have the care plan, if the I's aren't dotted and the T's aren't crossed, they're not sending that client their money. And when the client doesn't get money because they don't have a care plan, they call us and very, very angry at that. So, but we're pretty good about reminding you when you don't turn in your care plans, but it'd be so much better if you remember clock in, care plan, clock out. Okay, how many caregivers? We have 118. And that changes. I mean, I think if you looked at the computer right now, it wouldn't be 118. Because it changes all the time. But we're always in a pickle.
I say in all.
In all. And so we're always in a pickle as to, do we hire more caregivers and then risk not having work for them? Or do we just not and then risk having somebody call needing a caregiver and we don't have them? So, it's always walking on eggshells about that number. It always is. How many CNAs? We have 47 CNAs. Again, that might have changed since we did this game. It changes so rapidly. How many CNAs signed up for free CPR training? Only 14 out of 47. And I was really amazed at that. It could be because the CNAs already have the CPR. It lasts for 2 years. That could be it. Or maybe they just don't read their text. I don't know. And then, how many voicemail box full messages? So far, we guesstimated 38 that we've had this year. And it's hard when we need to get in contact with you. We were offering this lady to come in for orientation. We wanted to hire her. And then orientation time changed. And we had to call and let her know that the orientation voicemail box full. She wasn't even an employee yet, and she had voicemail box full. We laughed about that for 5 minutes, then we cried. Okay, and then 2019 late to shifts is so far, guys, we have 61 late to shifts. That is the number one complaint of clients, the number one complaint, and they get so frustrated about that. And how they get even more frustrated is when you haven't called us and we haven't called the client. Because as soon as you call us and say, I'm on the freeway, it's shut down, I'm not getting there, then we call the client right away. And it's always easier when the client hears from us instead of having the client call at 9:10 or 9:05 and say, where are they? And they haven't heard a thing. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Okay, I have one other thing I want to do here. Milton, we have the Nimble. Are you doing it, or is Cindy?
We're both gonna do it. So are we ready to go?
Together, you're ready to go.
Okay.
So we have a new program, guys, and it's so techy and it's so interesting. Oh, you're gonna go first? Okay, here we go.
Hello. Can I sit with y'all for a little bit? All right. Sit down, sit down. Therapy. Bad knees, that's gonna sit with y'all. All right, so first I wanna thank everybody for your hard work, your patience. Sometimes, some of you guys are sitting on the side waiting for some hours, and I really appreciate your patience. I want to thank everybody for being punctual to their shifts. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. And picking those last minute shifts up. Have you guys seen when we send out those blasts to you saying, hey, we need help, SOS, help us out? Thank y'all for picking up those shifts. That's how we created the hero. But thank you. I'm gonna pick on a lot of you guys in here, so look alive, be awake. All right, so let's see. Linda O'Connor.
Yeah.
Hospital. Your client is admitted to the hospital. What are you supposed to do? During your shift, your client is going to the hospital. What do you do?
Going to hospital?
Your client is going to the hospital. What are you as the caregiver, what are you supposed to do?
I call the office.
That's right. That's right. We have to know your client is going to the hospital. It is very important because, especially if you're on a 24-hour case, how is your relief supposed to know the client is being admitted to the hospital, and especially if we need to go there and care for them, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, let's see. Who else can I pick on? Say, wake up. All right, let's talk about schedule changes. If your client asks you to come in early, or if your client asks you to come in late or leave later, what are you supposed to do as the caregiver?
I have to call the office and let them know.
That's right. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Just call the office, let us know, so we can make sure that you're paid for the hours that you are scheduled to work, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Uniforms. Your uniform should always be clean, neat, and free from stains. It's sad that I'm having to really talk about this because unfortunately this year we got a call from a client that sent the caregiver home before she could even sit down, okay? Because she had stains on her uniform. You guys don't only represent the company, but you represent yourselves, okay?
Yes.
All right. All right, so always make sure you have your name badge on. If you, let's see, now let me pick on somebody. Grace. Great. All right, if you lose your name badge, what do you do?
Call office.
That's right, we'll get you another one free of charge. Promise we won't charge you the first one. I'm just kidding. All right. Miss Lily Massey. All right. Being a caregiver, when you're working on a case, what does it mean to be a team player?
With another.
Whenever you're working on a case and it's, let's say you guys are relieving each other, you're working a 24-hour case, what does it mean to be a team player on that case?
To let her know what's going on when I was on the shelf, based on if anything changed with her medicine, her food, her behavior, if she got sick, and what, you know, you need to do.
That's
Just
a proper
more
turnover. Whenever you come on to your shift,
Communicating with her
that's right.
on what happened on your shift.
That's right. You should always let the person that's relieving you, or when you're relieving somebody, let them know what's going on. Let them know what's going on. Don't just, hey, it's in the book. Talk to your teammate, okay? All right, so let's talk about something that's really, really, really important, you guys. Physical limitations, okay? If I can get a show of hands, is it the caregiver's responsibility to call the office if the client has a change of condition?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Is it?
Yes. It is.
Everybody, come on, all right. So, with that being said, is it the caregiver's responsibility to let the office know when they have a change of condition themselves?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so change of condition could be a bad knee, like I have myself, a bad back, especially those that are on cases that are doing transfers. Is that you back there, Rachel, from a bad back? All right, and also, most important, if you are pregnant, that is very important, you guys, because especially if you're on a case with the client that is combative or something like that, we need you to be safe as well as the baby, okay, and as well as the client. So always let us know. We want to share in that joyous moment with you too, so make sure you let us know, okay? And all of these things that we listed, we wanna make sure that you guys give us some kind of written notice from a doctor stating what your limitations are. Cause I know we all wanna be heroes out there, but we need to know what your limitations are, okay? Any questions for me so far? All right. My last thing that I'm gonna pick on somebody about, Brenda Gilbert.
Oh,
All right. How do you resign a case? If you on a case and you're like, you know what, me and this client, we are not hitting it off, I need to let this case go. What do you do?
Call the office.
That's right. That's right. So you would let us know. Main thing is communication. You have to let us know, hey, this isn't working out for me, and we will do as much as we can and transition you out of there, okay? And find you something else. Any questions?
Courtney,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
when you asked, Linda a question, your client going to the hospital,
Mhm.
and she said call the office, do you call the family member first before you call the office, or do you call the office?
Call us.
Okay.
Call us, okay? Because we have in our system the sequence of the correct people that we need to call
Okay.
first, okay? So let us know.
Okay.
Let us know, okay?
Would you go to the hospital with them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just like when Linda's client went to the hospital,
Yeah.
the caregiver who was there called me at the office, and I went through the list and called every single contact that was listed, to let them know. And, you know, the caregivers kept me updated so I could keep the family updated. The caregivers stayed with the client in the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Y'all wake up this morning. Come on now. Y'all made y'all woke
Yeah, I've got one thing I want to talk to you about before we move to the next topic. It's an important thing, and it happened to me recently. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call, 9:30 in the morning, and it was a client that said, you can come over to the house and get your caregiver.
Oh.
What? It's 9:30 in the morning. And that caregiver started the shift at 8 o'clock. I go, well, what's the problem? He's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
He's sleeping. And I think he's passed out. You need to get over here right away. So I hop in the car and I drive over there. You can imagine what it was like, me walking into that house. All the family members are sitting there looking at me. And I go, well, where is he? He's upstairs. So I go upstairs into the client's room. The client is in his bed, kind of propped up watching TV. And on a lounge chair next, there's the caregiver in a fetal position.
Facing away from the client.
Now, that room reeked of alcohol.
Oh.
My God.
So I nudged the caregiver a couple times, no response. I had to bend down, grab his arm, and get him sit up on that lounge chair. He looked at me, his eyes were half closed, and he had no idea where he was.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'd take that caregiver, I'd safely get him down those stairs. Even though they had the elevator in the house, I forgot that there was an elevator. So I'm going downstairs with this guy.
He's so embarrassed.
And get him in my car, we drive him here, we get an Uber, and we make sure he gets home, okay? Now, what do you think that family thought of Encore Caregivers? None of you were there. There was only one of our caregivers in the room. But what do you think they thought of Encore Caregivers and our caregivers? All of us got painted with that same brush of that passed out caregiver.
Right.
Every single one of us got painted that way. Now, who here would have blamed the client saying, you and your caregiver out, and I don't ever want you back in here? Who would have blamed them? Nobody would have blamed them. I don't have to tell you how serious it was, and the client is their client who absolutely needs our help. And somehow, this guy, who apparently didn't sleep at all the night before his shift started, somehow thought it was a good idea to go to work. Now, I wouldn't have blamed that client for booking us out of there.
They didn't.
They didn't. And you know why? Because of the other caregivers on the gate, right? And that could have been any one of you. Those caregivers saved that case. Now here's the other thing. This guy relieved one of the caregivers. I'm telling you, when I could smell alcohol, the room was just permeating with it. So that caregiver that left,
Everybody's a guy.
Yeah.
Smells it.
mm-hmm, you smell it. Showed up there, probably smelled it, right? Did not call the office. That would have been the thing to do. Because I'm telling you, we're all in this together. And fortunately, that is an awesome experience every single day. But on this shift, we didn't all want to be in that room, right? None of us wanted to be in that room. When you guys see something out there that's not right, and you know what I'm talking about, you know when things are right and when things are not right. You gotta let us know. You gotta let us know. If I would have beat that phone call over to that house and say, hey, the relief just told me we got a problem over here, that would have been a lot more preferable than have the client, the client family call me up, tell me, get over here and get the caregiver out.
The client knows something's wrong.
We have an awesome agency here, and you guys have made it that way. That's worth protecting, right? That's worth protecting. This isn't about tattling on somebody. This is about client care. That's your business. You guys are all professionals. And when somebody is abusing that, you've got to let us know, right? Because it affects every one of us here. And that's not something we do. Our standards are high, though I could not have convinced that client of that morning. Our standards are high. And of course, that caregiver, do you think that caregiver is working for us right now?
No.
No.
When he's sobered up, he's done.
No. If that caregiver would have called us in the morning, I'm in no condition to go to work. Now, we wouldn't be happy about that. Somebody's calling in late, you guys know all that. But there wouldn't have been any questions asked. Okay, we'll take care of it. Courtney and Michelle would have jumped into action, got the shift covered. Client wouldn't have been happy, we wouldn't have been happy, but we wouldn't have been in that jam that we were. That was a pure butt show, right? And that's hard to recover from. If this client is with us 5 more years, they'll never forget about a drunk caregiver passed out next to the client. They'll never forget that. And forever, that image is associated with Encore Caregivers. We're gonna work hard every shift to minimize that image there, but whenever you guys see something that's not right, you need to let us know. We'll investigate it, we'll figure out what to do. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I'm excited to introduce something new to you. We partnered with a company recently in Denver, Colorado, whose mission statement is, we want to prevent 1 million falls a year. Wow, that's a pretty bold and big goal, right? Because we all know that the number one thing that happens that changes our client's condition is a fall. And sometimes they never recover from the fall, right? Sometimes it puts them in the hospital for a time. Yeah, you guys aren't working, client's in the hospital. sometimes they never come back. It changes the rest of their life, just a fall. And they happen all the time. So this company has come up with a method for improving the balance of our clients, causing them to be more stable and less likely to what? Fall. And Cindy and I are gonna kind of demonstrate it to you, but we're gonna start with a short 5-minute video that kind of sort of gives an overview of what we're talking about. You all are gonna be coaches in this endeavor that we're gonna be starting. You guys are gonna be an integral part of applying this technology for your clients in the case, so.
We'll explain a little bit first and then go into it.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Estrada, part of the Nimble team. As a physical therapist, I've witnessed the incredible heart and soul that goes into being a caregiver. Thanks for the wonderful work you do in enriching many people's lives. Whether it is being receptive and anticipating the needs of others, or empowering a healthy and comfortable environment with the introduction of the Nimble Balance training platform. As talented caregivers, you know the frustration of seeing people decline over time. We are making an effort together to change this pattern and truly focus on wellness and fall prevention in a fun and novel way. This video is an introduction to how you can further empower your clients with the confidence and learned success to make gains in both their cognition and physical balance skills. The skill and knowledge are built into the software, allowing you to participate with your client in keeping them safe and enjoying laughing with them through engaging cognitive challenges. All you have to do is use the smart device in Android or Apple and type in the email address and password. From there, the process is not only simple but self-guided with animations and descriptions of each exercise. You and the client can have fun challenging each other with variable cognitive types and varieties, all while exercising at the same time. This has been shown to be the most effective way to improve one's balance, and it only takes 10 minutes per day. When the training is completed 3 times a week, we are seeing significant gains in quality of life and balance. The key is to do both at the same time, and to complete the physical challenge as the client can safely. So to tell you more is my colleague, Dr. Likovic.
Hi, I'm Ed Likovic, part of the Nimble team, and today I'm here to tell you about the Nimble at-home training app. The Nimble at-home training app is designed with our key promise in mind, that this will take 10 minutes of time on your time. The Nimble training app is designed to be done by a senior on their own in the comfort of their own home. As I mentioned, it takes just 10 minutes per day, and the 10 minutes is important because that's what we've discovered is our therapeutic threshold level to see balance improvement. It's 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Now, the Nimble training software is completely customized to an individual senior's balance ability, and that level will increase in difficulty as the senior progresses and their balance improves. In addition to our key promise of just 10 minutes per day, is the importance of dual tasking in our at-home training or in any Nimble intervention. Remember, balance is about the brain and the body working together. And so it's very important that we challenge the brain at the same time as we challenge the body. So, as the senior progresses through our balance intervention on a daily or 3 times a week basis, the program will evolve with them, and this will happen automatically. The senior will be offered promotions to new, more challenging levels periodically depending on their progress. The senior will have the opportunity to accept this promotion or to defer that in the future if they don't feel comfortable yet. One important thing to remember as a senior is doing this at home is to reinforce that they should make sure they're doing this safely. When they're doing the at-home training exercises, they should always have a chair or point of stability near them. And of course, if they have any questions or are unsure if they're doing something correctly, you should encourage them to come talk to you. Remember, what matters is engagement and effort over the long term, not that they're doing something specific or that they're doing a specific level that they feel the need to do. So now let's take a look at the senior who's using the at-home training app. The senior would click on the Nimble training app, and then they would be presented with a screen that explains their current level and welcomes them to the program. They'll click the button at the bottom which then shows them their exercises for the day. Each exercise has a little thumbnail next to it and a description of it. And then they're presented with a series of cognitive challenges. Now the key with the cognitive challenges is we want them to vary their choices. So we want them to continually challenge their brain at the same time they're challenging their body. Remember, that's the key with Nimble, is balance is about the brain and the body together. When they've completed all of the exercises, they're then presented with a session feedback screen, where they can choose if they've had any pain and indicate where on the body that occurs. They can also indicate whether they've had dizziness, and finally they can show their self-perceived exertion level. So that's the Nimble Training app. Remember, as a coach, you'll want to encourage seniors to do this at least 3 times per week, because that's what our research demonstrates is the therapeutic threshold for improvement. Of course, it's helpful if they do it even more frequently than 3 days a week, but that's the baseline. Remember, our promise is 10 minutes of time on your time to seniors, so they can participate in the benefits of Nimble in the comfort of their own home, in whatever schedule works best for them.
Cindy, we gonna demo this?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
You guys, it's fun, and we've been doing it as office staff. We're set up, they trained us, and we're doing it. And I haven't done mine today, so Milton will start us off. And you guys have to all do live training, so you're gonna have to stand up for this and do this, just like I would.
So today you're gonna be the client and kind of experience what the clients go through. Cindy and I will do it up here. I'm gonna kind of give you an image of what the screen is gonna look like. And we're gonna have these devices, smaller than this, actually in the home. You guys will be trained and assigned as coaches, and you're gonna be the ones that facilitate the training for the client. 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week, or more, okay?
So it's fun, you're working with your client, and you guys get to do it together. And it's only 10 minutes, and yet when you see this, you'll see it is fun.
Okay, let's get started.
I didn't do it today, so you guys are doing mine. And I saved it for you. But there's cognitive questions, and they can be challenging, but they're also fun, so you gotta practice, okay?
And when I do it, you have all the exercises right here. I like the program to pick which one for me. So now remember, the idea is to do exercises at the same time you answer these questions, right?
We can do this. We can do this.
Okay, so here we go.
So show you the exercise. This is what you guys
Okay,
are
first it's
doing.
gonna demonstrate that.
Your 2 feet are together, and you
Yep,
have your
2 feet
arms
are
out.
close together during this one.
And you're actually holding the device, you have to have it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, just kind of put your arms out as if
Okay.
you're holding. Who was the beguiling gypsy dancer in The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Who was the gypsy dancer? Esmeralda? Esmeralda. I think.
Esmeralda.
You guys tell me the
Esmeralda,
answer.
we got that one wrong.
I got that wrong, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter.
What
Okay.
nationality was musical
Keep on having your arms
instrument?
out.
What musical instrument did Sherlock Holmes play?
Violin?
Violin. Yes, we got that.
Yeah, we got one right, yeah. got
What
two
is the name of Long John Silver's parrot?
Parrot. Jack Sparrow, right? Jack Sparrow. Come on, sing.
No, Captain Flint.
Oh, who do that? It doesn't matter, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's that.
Okay, we had 4 questions, we got none of them right.
Let's
Now,
do one more. Can we do another one?
yeah, we're gonna do another one.
Okay.
But, so what if we didn't get any of them right?
It doesn't matter.
Here's the point. If your brain is trying to figure out an answer to something, at the same time you're doing the exercise, and we're gonna do a little deeper exercise here, the training is working.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you get the right answer or not. Now, like me, when I do it, I still do it, I wanna get all the right answers, and I'm disappointed if I get 0 out of 4, okay?
We got one, didn't we?
But that's where the coach comes in, right? This is about having fun and getting them to look forward to doing it each day. And that, over time, is gonna improve their balance. So it doesn't matter whether the answers are right or not. They may get embarrassed, but don't. Make them feel like it's fun, like it doesn't matter. Okay, you keep them going on it. Yes, no?
Change every day?
Huh?
Encore changes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're different kinds, and we'll show you. Okay, so now we're gonna do the next exercise. So even though we got 0 out of 4.
No, we got one.
It's a 0.
Right, Brenda? Two. Next exercise.
Okay, here we go. Here's the next one.
Okay, here we are. Oh, we're
Okay,
doing squat.
see, everybody see that
Squat,
exercise?
yeah. Down, you gotta be doing that.
Okay,
Those
we're gonna
thigh
go.
muscles
Here we go.
going. 5. You don't have to do it yet. 3,
not yet.
2, 1. Now you gotta do it. What's the question?
Which president did not sign the Constitution?
Donald Trump.
Washington? Oh, John Adams. I guess.
Okay, we're on next one. No, you guys are squatting. You exercise.
Who was the president when the Great Depression happened? Roosevelt. Herbert Hoover.
Oh, boy, come on, guys, we got this.
What
Squat.
president came
Squat.
after
Squat.
Jefferson?
Come on, came after
John Adams.
John Adams. Madison did.
Next
Okay.
one. Keep on doing your exercises, guys.
Yeah, keep doing the exercises.
Okay.
Which is the correct order? Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan.
Oh, good.
Oh my God! I don't have Fillmore, Pierce.
Yeah, next one
I
we're
don't
gonna
have
get. Here we go.
Okay.
Which
What
president?
president came after Lincoln?
Grant!
Grant did.
No! Jefferson did. But we did it. These questions are getting harder.
Andrew
now.
Johnson. We're gonna do another one. I think we gotta get at least one question right.
Yes, we can do it.
Shouldn't we? I think we're gonna keep doing this till we get one right.
Let's do a fun one, though.
We'll be fine by the time I leave out of here doing all this.
You guys know trivia, pop music, or shapes? Shapes. Okay, trivia,
All right.
pop music. Are you guys ready?
Okay, here we go.
What's our exercise, Milton? What are we gonna do?
Here we go.
Oh.
Everybody got that one?
It's the short
Okay.
one. Left, it's the left. Everybody to their left.
Here we go.
Left. Left.
left,
Behind that. Come on, Miss Jane, you show us.
Who wrote the song "Blinded by the Light"? Manfred Mann, Bruce Springsteen, or Steve Winwood?
Come on, guys.
Bruce Springsteen! Yeah, we got one. I think.
I think.
Which band? Which band?
You're timed out. Oh, okay, you're too late. Go next one, okay. Let's do bands again, we're doing good with that one. Move
Which
it up a
one?
little, scroll it up. Trivia, pop music.
Oh yeah, that's
Here we go. Here we go. That's pretty. That's a pretty song.
okay. Same exercise. Here we go.
Okay, lunging back. Lunging back. You guys are lunging forward, it's a lunge back.
In the 1970s, supermodel Imam
Iman
is married to which musical icon?
David Bowie!
Yes, we got one!
Yeah.
Who replaced? Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So we're good. So that's what happens. You go through 6 exercises like that. There is a bunch of different ones here, not just
There's
these
a lot more
trivia
fun
questions.
ones.
Yeah, I
There's a
know.
lot more fun ones where you follow light patterns and it's not always questions.
But here's what's important. At the end of it, the client says, how much pain were you in? And gives a measure of that. How much stress?
Yeah, how much exertion was it?
Yeah, how much exertion, measure that.
And
And all of that gets recorded, and Cindy can bring it up on her computer and watch the progress on the client and how there is. In fact, Cindy first goes in and does an assessment, an evaluation of the client. They get a score for their balance. You go through a series of exercises, they get a score. We get 3 months go by, we measure them again to see what kind of improvement that they're taking. So we have picked 5 clients, or we'll shortly pick 5 clients who've been looking at the list. Watch your email or text messages. Cindy will reach out to you and say, hey, we've selected your client to start this program. We'll have talked with the client about it. Then we'll train you. So we'll make arrangements for you to come in, or else we'll meet you there, and we'll spend time training you to be a coach on this, so you guys will know exactly what to do. And as a coach, what's your first and foremost top job as a coach?
Make sure the client don't fall.
You got
Yes,
it right there.
good,
You
good.
got it right there. And you saw in the video, we're gonna show you how to put a chair there, and maybe when when you have a client doing it, maybe you have your hand on them while they're doing it, right? And you guys taught me that, by the way. You can keep a hand on them. You can tell when they're losing their balance, right? So that first and foremost, as the coach, that's what you're there to do, and we'll show you. And where you do it's important too. If they should fall, we don't want them to hit their head on something, right? So,
A good point here too is that they don't have to be standing to do these. They have exercises for people that just sit, and that will be
Or in a
evaluated
walker.
initially. Yeah, for the walker is a great one too. So that's part of the evaluation, and we'll give them a certain exercises to do that they can do that way.
then the second most important job is to interact with them in a way so that the next time they want to do it again, right? And that's the thing, and it's got to be fun for them, and you guys can make it fun for them, right?
Coaches.
And I think if you guys can do that for them, they're going to benefit as a result of it. It's pretty sophisticated technology. It does work. Cindy and I checked it out thoroughly to make sure that the results are there and it's well documented on the results. And guess what? When that family member sees that their loved one is actually improving and enjoys doing, who's going to get the credit for that?
You are.
No, you are.
I mean, yeah, you are.
That's right.
We are.
You guys
We
are
are.
gonna get the credit
You know.
for that, as being a
You
great
are like
caregiver, concerned about your clients and helping them improve.
Right.
You know, a lot of times our clients are just in a slow decline. Wouldn't it be nice if something you did every day helped them improve in a verifiable way? That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And a fall is so tragic for these elderly people. Once they have a fall, they're never the same again after that. So if we can prevent them from falling and breaking their hip, that's part of our job. And I feel good about that. And
So be nimble.
that's what
Right?
Nimble. The other thing I wanted to say is that we offer you a lot. We have the skills labs, we have the in-service, we have Nimble, we have home care metrics. A lot of people helped me with, right, Miss Sandy? She did home care metrics, didn't she? Okay, but we also have CPR. I've taken CPR every other year, like you guys have to take that are CNAs. I can't even tell you how many times I've taken CPR. And the last time I took it, I thought, wow, this is really boring. He's just showing a video. I'd like to do this myself. So they allowed me to get trained to be a CPR instructor. When it was CNA week, I think it was in June, Mary Lou had something out there where if you signed up, you get free CPR, which is really good because I know I was paying $50 or $60 to renew my CPR.
Yes.
So we're offering it for free for those people that signed up, and I will be starting this in August. So I'll get in contact with the people that signed up, and we'll start giving those out. Then later on in the year, I want to offer it to everybody, you know, who's interested in getting CPR. You don't have to be a CNA. You can be a home care, you know, provider or whatever. And so if you're interested, I'll keep on sending out Texas, and I'll be offering it throughout the year. And it's really cool because they allowed me to get the mannequins and everything like that. So it's your American Heart Association CPR, and we're going to be offering that too.
Mm-hmm.
So like we can get it as well if
Right, right. We'll
What
offer
about
it to
if you
you.
get it, so you feel ready?
If you have it and you just want to renew it, then you'd have 2 years from when you renew it from, you know, even if you're not due till September, you can do it early and you'll be 2 years from now, right? And you know, you can, CPR is something that you really want to just get to know again and again, because when the time comes when you need to do it, you want to do it as a reflex and not think, what am I supposed to be doing? I know I took that course 2 years ago, but I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. It just reinforces that.
So, hey, if you haven't gotten the feeling yet, we are looking for more and more ways to offer value to our clients and to offer skills for you to serve those clients. And I think that combination, having great caregivers like you, the ability to offer you new skill set, new things to do in the industry, will keep Encore Caregivers the #1 agency in Houston, Texas. And one that you guys can be associated with for many years into the future.
don't forget the skills labs sign up sheet is out front whenever you guys do.
Yeah, that skills lab's gonna be fun. I mean, you have a chef telling you easy recipes and easy ways to cook breakfast and it's all about food. We get to eat.
Is that it? Are we, or what do we?
No,